What will we cover in the next few minutes? We're going to look at checking the qualification and starting the process for a lease extension. The small differences between statutory and voluntary lease extensions, in fact, they're not really small, they're quite big in a way. Who should the notice of a lease extension be served upon? What needs to be included within a Section 42 notice served on behalf of the tenant wanting to extend? Then we'll move on to having a look and what we will cover and what can go wrong if the notice is not followed. Tips and tricks that I've picked up with my colleagues and others that I've discussed this with over the years throughout to ensure that you're compliant. Some brief case law on the issues arising. I should say that now at this stage, the case law are a couple of historical cases because leasehold enfranchisement work and lease extensions, anything to do with leases, in fact, is changing constantly. A byproduct of the Building Safety Act is that Section 8 of the Housing Act 1988 will no longer, or should no longer, be an issue when it comes to ground rent in relation to leasehold property. If leasehold is kept, will this mean that we will see ground rents above £250 being acceptable again, as they were in the past? Of course, now all new leases created in the past few years onwards have to be for a peppercorn rent. Still never quite worked out why it should be a peppercorn and not a rose petal. Far more romantic, I think. So, how to serve it? There are many ways to serve it. Calladine Smith and Save Order is I say it's a historical case, it's 2011, but it'd be historical to some of you because some of you will be watching this and won't have actually been practicing at the time. But in essence, it was to do with the postal rule, whether something that was posted had been received or not. I will let you all look at the specific facts of the case, but the specific facts of the case said that something that had been posted hadn't been received. Now, there's ways you can serve the notice. You can serve it by post. If you serve it by post, you can rely on the postal rule to some extent. First class mail, send it first class. Personally, I tend to send it first class and special delivery because then someone signs it. Special is next day, costs a fortune. We all know that we've had problems with the postal system in this country. Recorded delivery just means someone's got to sign it, but it can, and I've given a prime example a few years ago. I posted something from Southampton to Poole. Poole is, 40, 50 miles away, if that. It took from Monday to Friday to get there, whereas I posted something on the Friday to Australia and it was there on the Saturday and I had it back from the client on the Monday. Very specific facts on that. Wasn't to do with enfranchisement either. But make sure you use the right medium to send things.